Okay, I'm gonna break things down for you right now. We're talking tea. Tea can essentially be divided into 4 broad categories based on how long the leaves are allowed to oxidize before being processed. White tea, green tea, oolong tea, and black tea. These are the big 4 families. 4 of them. If you're following along at home, you might have realized that this list does not include red tea, herbal tea, yerba mate, chamomile, peppermint, or any of the plethora of new wave detox infusions you've probably seen on the grocery store shelves. I'm sorry, but the world needs to hear it said. These are not tea. All of these beverages are considered tisanes or herbal infusions or whatever, I don't care. They are most definitely not tea. The difference being that they do not come from the tea plant. Yeah, real tea comes from a single plant. It has a Latin name and everything. Google it. This may seem like splitting hairs to most people, and I may sound like an elitist asshole, but I'm sorry. I love tea. And comparing a honeysuckle, rosehip, cinnamon, apple slice wellness blend to a properly grown and harvested first flush caboose is like comparing a fruity Lexia Goonsack to a bottle of Chateau Neuf de Pape. Except I don't really know anything about wine, so I'm only assuming that my example is a really good wine because it was on that Beastie Boys song. Anyway, the point being that these 2 categories of beverages are not even in the same stratosphere. Don't get me wrong. If you actually like drinking this stuff, power to you. Just don't get all Far East neo-spiritual about the multitude benefits of your hot water with flowers in it, and don't call it tea. Please. Lately, I seem to be noticing a trend, a crusade, if you will, by certain companies, not pointing any fingers, to make quote-unquote tea drinking a hip thing to do again, thus rescuing it from the decidedly unhip clutches of your dear old nan and 4-year-old fiefdoms everywhere, and reclaiming it for the youthful knit-beanied masses, which, incidentally, I think means that British people have always been super hip. The problem I see with this is that tea is now suffering the same fate that coffee did at the hands of some boutique cafes several years ago. When you order a 20-ounce mocha latte, chocolate, bukake, or whatever, you're not actually getting coffee. Mostly, you're getting warm milk and cream and flavored syrup and maybe an espresso shot somewhere in there near the bottom. Just like needlessly adding bits of fruit or flowers to your tea, I can't help but feel this undermines the quality of an already great beverage. But I guess the beautiful flavor of a single estate Assam is too subtle compared to, I don't know, Gatorade, and has nowhere near the raw caloric intensity of any of the multitude unnaturally sweet beverages we were used to pulling off the grocery store shelves, so it doesn't move units. Here's another point to drive into your thick consumerist skull. Orange Peco, or Pico if you like, is not a flavor of tea. It does not taste like oranges. Orange Peco is part of a classification scheme that describes the size and condition of the tea leaf, and most grocery store brands that claim that title are not actually Orange Peco by definition. The grading goes something like this. The lowest quality is a broken Orange Peco, which includes the tea dust, or fannings, broken tea leaves that essentially fill up most tea bags, and then our familiar friend Orange Peco, which uses the whole leaf. From there, the quality ramps up to a flowery Orange Peco, and then to a golden flowery Orange Peco, and then to a tippy golden flowery Orange Peco, and no, I'm not making this crap up. See your local licensed Wikipedia expert for more details on the grading system. Dipping into the green side of things, we have Sencha, Matcha, Gyokuro, Kabuse, Genmai, and Hojicha, just to name a few, all of which are just tea leaves, grown and prepared in different ways to produce dramatically different beverages. So explore. I encourage everyone to try a high-quality tea prepared at the right temperature, steeped for the right amount of time, and to just let the leaves speak for themselves. Try black teas without cream or sugar first, sorry Brits, and then try them at different times of day, or with different meals. As Kakuzo Okakura said in his famous Book of Tea, tea has not the arrogance of wine, the self-consciousness of coffee, nor the simpering innocence of cocoa. Tea has been prepared and consumed for hundreds of years, and it's a strong part of several nations' economies and national identities. So let's not let ready-made, artificially flavored consumers' culture reclaim this one too. Cheers.
Another gift from you.